How's it going? I'm BuzzCraft64 with a new Bionicle 2016 review. This is Lewa, Uniter of Jungle. One of the first things I'm going to do here is compare this to something a lot of people want to see it compared to, which is Matau's mask. Because during the leaks, they say, sorry, I don't know who said this, but before there were pictures, they said it looked a lot like his mask looked like exactly like Matau's mask. So just, here's a quick comparison to that. It is actually quite similar. You can see there's like these spikes on the top. There's just lines. It's a profile. It is actually quite similar. I mean, the color's different, but I mean, there is a big resemblance. And another thing, this is Toa Lewa basically. I mean, it's basically Toa Lewa Nuva, but I mean for the new year, G2. So here's Lewa Nuva. You can pause the video and take a closer look if you want. There are actually lots of similarities, like silver, dark silver, silver here, dark silver there. It's real similar. Two weapons here. You can really tell that it is a redo of Lewa Nuva and Lewa Uniter of Jungle. It's very similar. And then one last one before I get into the pros and cons and more details of the pieces. Here's first Lewa and then a second Lewa for G2. You can pause the video if you want to see more of that. But let's get on to the set, because, that's why I'm watching this video. First off, I guess I'll just show you the function, which is spinning, actually. See, there's this little gear system right here. Let's focus the video a second. Turn this. He turns. Another notable thing are these, let's try and get this thing off here a second, yellow pins. So you're going to shade the light, you can see it. Yellow pins. Comes with a whole bunch of those. Those are new, I believe. A great thing that these have is these Bionicle G1 pieces. They're, I think they were used for Vorax, was that his name? Glatorian? He wasn't a Glatorian, but that time. These spinning blades of his, remind me a lot of these old swords. One concern that I had before I bought this was that these would be all floppy, because as you can see they're on a pin, but there's actually a decent amount of friction here. I was really impressed, in awe when I was building this, and there's just lots of stuff that's really neat about this. So I guess I'll get into the pros and the cons. Let's start with a pro. One pro is his mask. It looks a lot like the original Lewa Nuva's mask. It might not tell, but I mean, there's these spikes back here. You can see it in the background. And he has the same thing here, too. And, Lewa Nuva was one of my favorites, and seeing that this similar, really based off it, it's nice. Like, there's these vents here. He has those. I mean, they're a little lower, but still. Another pro would be these Vorax pieces. I already talked about those. A con, though, is this. It's one piece, one single piece. It's kind of disappointing. Before we got this, which was 2 pieces. Unfortunately, all we got now is this, one piece. See? It's all one piece. And that's unfortunate because it's like this is still here. This is this. There's not really a difference. I mean, sure, there's a little difference right here. But it's just like, almost feels like cheap if they did that. Maybe it's just because of this thing right here that they couldn't afford to have space. And, you know, if they really couldn't avoid having this cutting down on this, it's not as bad. Another pro would be all these trans green teeth pieces, Borak teeth, I believe the name is. There's one here, two here, two here, two here, two here. There really are a lot of them. Another pro is that all of these pieces, there's a whole bunch of them. I think, well, actually not a whole bunch, there's 4. But these, you know, you don't get these very often in the old Bionicles. They're only in a couple sets. That's kind of nice that there's more of them. Another pro here is these green Technic pieces. These are really awesome because these are like Green Lantern green. Can you see that better? Let's focus it a minute. It's Green Lantern green. It's really neat. A con, unfortunately, are these shoulders. As you can see, his shoulders are as wide as his hips. And that's not a good thing because there's very little maneuverability forward. There's no maneuverability forward. It's actually slanted backwards a little bit because of this piece. So they're kind of on an angle back. And at first I was like, ugh, this looks awful. But then as soon as you put these pieces on, it makes it a lot wider and stuff, and the effect of it being super skinny goes away. So, it's kind of a con, but they make up for it slightly with these crystal pieces and getting rid of the effect of it being way too skinny. I guess I'll show you the golden mask it comes with. I don't know the name, but it's golden mask. Quick view of him on here. Oops. And as you might have seen when I took the mask off, a notable change here is actually blue here. In the old one, he had lime green. And in this old one, he had lime green. And in this one, blue. I mean, it looks kind of neat through the trans green here, but it's different. It's very different. Another thing I guess I might as well point out is this like build here. This the leg actually hooks on with this Borak piece here, and then this, it looks kind of just like a stub. Hooks on like that. It's kind of neat. I've about covered everything, so I guess I'll just show you the box. As you may notice, I usually do the box first, but I'm going to do the box last and stuff. Because who wants to see the box? Who cares about the box? Anyway, here's a comic. Lewa. The inside. Onto the instructions. Lewa. Tahu saying win. Here's the comic. You can pause the video if you want to see it. Instructions. All the Toas. An ad. And then basically the same thing as this, but I don't know. There's like a bunch of different ads, basically. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Remember to like this video and subscribe. Come again for more. See ya.